tropical storm Dorian coming up in Portsmouth, Dominica at the moment, and we're monitoring that damn thing since a few days. At the beginning it was like, looked like it's coming up here, so we thought about going south, but the models were not sure if it's coming up here or staying there, so it was like kind of on and off, not sure what to decide for, so we said okay, let's wait for the next update for the next morning. We still have time if we need to run away. Next morning it showed okay, it's passing all the way south, so we decided to stay here. That's Andy taking the flag down, as you should see in a second. Already moving. Here's everything tied down. Not the dogs, they don't have to be tied down. They're gonna be inside with us. So I don't know if you can see it, but out there is some more boats coming in. Somebody here. And I think there was another one. Where are you? Gone? No, back there. But that looks like that one's running further north, also afraid of getting hit here. And while we decided to stay here, we prepared everything and went on a strong mooring from the pace. All those moorings, proper strong ones with proper lines with dope on it, and look really good. So Andy's still managing lines and making sure everything's good, I guess. What are you doing? What are you doing?
Just making sure that everything is alright. I mean, you know, see that the first guests are coming in.
Yeah, I feel it.
Yeah.
I had to get the mouse.
Yeah. No, that's the mouse.
I had to get the mouse, otherwise you don't understand anything.
Yeah, sure. No, yeah, what do we want me to tell you? How we tied up?
Yeah, whatever's interesting, of course. How do you tie up in a storm to a mooring? Tell us.
Well, first of all, I choose one of the outer moorings on the very far end of the mooring field because the water is pretty deep here, and I expect some bad swell that comes in. So another storm we had here in there already, it was a bad idea to be close to the shore because the wave started breaking. So now we have a bit more distance. And I don't know, it was just this one line. It's a strong line that comes from the mooring on a heavy concrete block, but I still prefer to have, I mean, I have a catamaran, so I also want to have 2 blocks down there. So what I did, since there's nobody else around, I just tied another strong line down to the other mooring block just next to me. So at the moment we are tied up with 2 strong lines on 2 mooring blocks independent from each other.
But this second one is on the floor, it's not on top of the water, right?
No, people can pass next to our boat. It goes all the way 8 meters down to the bottom. It's just connected to the same block, but not up on the surface. And I expect that it will give me this advantage that when the wind and the swell will come in from the south, or even worse from the southwest, that I'd be able to balance the boat and point it into the waves to not get it on a beam or on some other uncomfortable angles.
In case swell is different, or like the wind.
Well, it should not, but you never know. I mean, you have this fancy 2 hills here where it's always funneling, and especially in a hurricane, it's always different. I mean, I don't really expect it, but it could be that there's micro tornadoes coming up or funny things like this, so you never know. I better have proper lines down to the bottom. But yeah, let's hope for the best and expect the worst. It's probably not windy enough, huh? Huh? Are we gonna storm? Huh? Are we gonna beat more?
What's that? Sunset dance?
Yeah. Dancing with Dorian.
Yeah, that's the storm. Now it's dancing with Marley.
Are we gonna dancing with Dorian or Marley?
Right now it's Marley. Or tomorrow probably it's Dorian. So what's your expectation?
Well, at least tropical storm force winds we will have. Probably not a category 1. Well, it's gonna be a category 1 hurricane at the time of arrival here in Dominica, but let's say we only get scratched a little bit. We'll see, it's gonna be wet, that's for sure. Didn't know that something's going on.
Yeah, I didn't get the previous gust. When I came out, it was just 24 or something.
Yeah, it's still quiet, but remember it's not here yet.
No.
Look at this dude out there.
Bread. What do you got there?
Well, the latest GOES satellite data.
What does it look like?
It looks like the center is just slightly southwest of Martinique. They got hit right now. Wait, here's the infrared. There is Martinique. And up here it's us.
So that's clouds? Or?
That's clouds, that's convection here. That's like a big steaming engine. It's just spinning. For now there's a tropical storm warning for Barbados, for St. Lucia, and for Martinique we got a tropical storm watch, which pretty much just says watch out. Can get worse, that can turn into a tropical storm warning or even a hurricane warning later on. Dorian is expected to become a hurricane later today, but we'll see what happens.
What's that stick on the bench behind you?
What bench?
The long stick. Oh, that's the flag. I was wondering what that is.
This actually says where our ship comes from.
No, I was just wondering because it's something that doesn't belong there at all.
Yeah, the thing is I want to show tomorrow also where we come from, and if I leave it out with Dorian, it's probably gone tomorrow. 10:30 now. You can clearly see now that the wind has changed more to the southeast, so that says the center has passed us down south. And I expect the wind now to increase a little more. We are in the range between 20 and 30 knots, sometimes gusting up to 40. It's raining like, I don't know, it's just crazy the amount of water that comes down. But it's still alright, so we don't have any swells, of course not, because the wind comes straight from the island. It will be different later when the wind changes down to the south and we'll reach the open bay. Yeah, we'll see. I worry more about the ground swell out of southwest, which will arrive after the storm, and yeah, we'll see. I expect some bad breakers in here.
What do you want?
I want exactly this. What is it?
Still warm bread, just baked fresh bread. Nutella. Reading a book, what else do you want to do? Storm.
Marty, it's nasty outside. It's quite boring today, huh?
No swim today, Marley. No swimming. No kayaks up. No, the bread's not for you. Don't look at me like that. You already had breakfast. And that's mine.
Sounds like the party is about to start.
Picking up.
Let's have a look.
Near 13 miles per hour or 20 kilometers per hour, and this motion is expected to continue throughout today and tonight, followed by a turn towards the northwest on Wednesday. On the forecast track, the center of Dorian will continue to move across the eastern and northeastern Caribbean Sea during the next few days away from the island chain. Maximum sustained winds are near 50 miles per hour or 85 kilometers per hour with higher gust. Tropical storm force winds extend outwards up to 45 miles or 75 kilometers from the center.
We're ready to leave in emergency, but yeah, let's see what happens. So, how is the situation down below deck?
Good. Cake and cake. Cheesecake.
Cheesecake, wow.
With peaches. Captain's favorite.
Can I see something already? Ah, it's good. You think that will work later when the wind swell shifts to the southwest?
Of course. Otherwise it's gonna be a big mess in the oven and I'm gonna be cleaning the stove. No, the oven. Do you do the dishes?
Of course.
How's the situation up here? Any updates?
Yeah, it looks like we're gonna be a lucky child. Look. It starts.
Can I get closer?
Yes, it starts turning away from us now. Here. The nearest point is now the center. We're up here, and the center is now moving away from us. So that says like from now on we're moving out of the front right section. So we should be. It should calm down now. It should be good. But you can literally see what was the problem. I mean, the forecast said first it's gonna come up and hit straight Dominica, and then we were ready to go down to Grenada, and then it said like no, hold on, it's gonna move that way. and we stopped sitting here, and then it decided to come up. And we were like, okay, now there is no way out anymore. And now it's like it's going away. It feels like dancing with Dorian.
Yeah, it's just kind of being flexible and arranging together.
I mean, my last way out would have been just go out here in the ocean.
The Prime Minister urged the citizens to remain calm yet vigilant as Dorian approaches the island.
We just want to reiterate there is no need for any one of us to be in any panic mode. There is no need for any one of us to be over anxious, and there is no need for us to shut down the country. So there will be no shutting down the country. We will continue our daily duties, and as the hours go by and the advisories come in the set schedule, I believe the next one is at 2 o'clock, and we shall rely on the 5 o'clock to give you further updates and so forth.
Prime Minister Honorable Roosevelt Garrett. Meantime, Disaster Management Coordinator Fitzroy Pascal told the nation to take precautionary actions to protect lives and property.
The ODM continues to advise the public be prepared for possible threats and hazards that could be triggered by Dorian. Flash flooding due to heavy rainfall. Persons living near waterways must be extremely vigilant and move to secure locations if they feel threatened by rising water levels. Landslides, gusty winds up to tropical storm force at times, first flying debris, down power lines, etc. may be an issue. Choppy or rough seas. Mariners should keep updated and secure crafts as increased wave action may be realized as the system moves into the Caribbean Sea, so mariners from the south to the west coast must pay particular attention to this. Residents should be mindful of these possible impacts and take all necessary precautions and actions.
And that was Disaster Management Coordinator Fitzroy Pascal.
Not sharing.
No. Of course.
I kept a few.
Oh, you did?
I have one.
Oh. So, should be in every emergency kit.
Gummy bears?
Gummy bears. To prevent hurricane.
Okay, so I have to adjust that.
They're good. So. It's a low pressure. I can see the eye. There's no gummy bears in there.
Oh, you got the gummy bears.
Huh?
Where's the gummy bears gone?
Well, I don't know, but you gotta fix that. I'll check the lines.
That's how addicted that guy is to gummy bears. There are none. What? Are you nuts? between the rains. And there's no sun today, and so the solar doesn't charge the batteries. Probably here we're running the engine to charge the batteries. I think Andy is somewhere up front. Ah, he hooked up the rain catcher. Perfect. Woohoo! Got the rain catcher out?
Yeah.
Cool.
I think the worst winds are gone. Now what we can get is a lot of rain what comes over the hill here.
Oh yeah.
And as far as I've seen the satellite before, we can say goodbye Dorian. It's gone. Over there you can already see some light again, so the storm moves out in the Caribbean Sea now. And looks like we made it. All good.
Chill.
So what we can do now is catch some rainwater and yeah, be ready for this southwester swell that comes in soon and prepare for that. So I double check my line over here. And that's what we prepared 2 lines for. Actually, this one here goes to the second mooring. But it is alright.
Second moorings over there.
I'll wait until we turn full way, then I adjust the length. I'm a little bit worried about all these boats close to the shore over there. We'll see what's going on.
Yeah, I don't want to be over there anchoring so close to shore. Getting turned. Yeah, and see those are already turned inwards.
That's
Yeah,
exactly it.
that's what's happening now.
Indicates the storm goes farther out now. Before we had the wind all out of the east. Then it changed to the southeast, now it's changing to the south. But the swell would follow soon. And be ready for that.
Dorian came way closer than forecasted and expected, but this became an advantage for us regarding to swell. Dorian upgraded to a Category 1 hurricane just after Dominica, and the storm force winds worked only on the Atlantic side and in a small area west of us. Not enough to build up dangerous seas yet. At this time we had no idea that Hurricane Dorian was going to devastate the northern Bahamas so badly. Three weeks later we had to brace again for Tropical Storm Karen. All forecasts agreed that Karen would pass further south and weaker than Dorian. We didn't believe to get anything at all since it was only a tropical depression more than 200 miles away from us. But we were wrong. Although Karen was not strong, she was way bigger than Dorian. She moved slowly, and so the storm winds had the chance to work on a huge area for a long time. This caused the buildup of massive swell waves coming towards us from the southwest. What's the exposed direction here? Andy called it a routine exercise to prepare for this storm as well, because he really didn't believe much to be happening, but still had this fancy feeling about it. So we went further out in the bay into deeper water again, tied down everything like before, and that turned out to be a very good idea. No one in here was ready for what was about to come. To be as flexible as possible, we tied to 2 moorings, so we have the chance to adjust the boat in the waves, rather to have another angle to the waves, not to get them sideways or too hard up front, and that way we're gonna hopefully be able to adjust all the movements and ride it soft. But of course we expect waves not just for a couple of hours, so probably we'll have to be on anchor watch through the night. We'll see how long it will take and how much we'll get. Here on the mooring we usually already have a big mooring rope, but for high swells to kind of fender that stuff, we put an additional line with a stop knot here and put it all the way back to another cleat. And in between we have those rubber snubbers. That means we have additional stretch on the line till the whole force comes on that one. and hopefully that will give us good expansion to ride over the huge swell. It's a system out there, and even the ferry that usually never stays here, at least not at anchor, now stays here, doesn't go out. Looks like some pretty bad waves out there. Phew. And you tried to go in to rescue the piece that already floated off, but I guess it ended up on the beach. Just hope he doesn't get into the breakers. Come on, Captain, get her sweet ass out of here. That's no fun anymore. They got it. To ride gently over the waves, we left the mooring lines quite long. We hardly got any wind from Karen, but the seas even ripped off mooring floaters. Like this one that came along at night, scared the shit out of us because we thought we broke free ourselves. The next wave just lifted it high enough to just grab it and pull it up on deck. And please don't take that video as advice how to moor or tie your boat. Every storm's different, every boat's different, and what's good this time can be bad next time. What's good for us is not necessarily the best for you. Even that we didn't get any damage, we got an impressive lesson. 3 dinghy dogs here in the bay are gone, some fishermen lost their boats and others even more. However, the beachfront got a new shape. Andrew just came by from the Pace guys. He picked up the mooring that drifted out and in reverse brought a bunch of bananas.